Hi there, I'm Tanaka Mhishi. I'm a poet and playwright, and I'm here to share 5 tips about writing autobiography and working with identity. So, tip number 1, don't box yourself in. A lot of the time when we start writing autobiography or we start writing about identity, we tend to get stuck in the facts, what are the things that have happened in my life? How do I identify? What are the little identifiers that I hold? But we're also more than that. And our aspirations, our imagination, our emotions, our thoughts, that's all part of identity too. That's part of our lives and it belongs in our writing. As a place to start, try thinking about the 2 emotions, fear and desire. They tell us a lot about who we are and they're behind a lot of the really compelling things in our lives. Start thinking about where they play a role in your life and write from that. Tip number 2, everything is relationship. That's one of my favourite sayings, and I think it's so useful when we're writing about autobiography and identity, because it's not just about us, it's about how we relate to the world, how we see it, and how it sees who we are. Start thinking about who you want to write to. That could be yourself, it could be yourself now, it could be yourself in 10 years or 10 years ago. Are you writing to someone who you know? Are you writing to someone who you'll never meet? And are you writing to someone who already has certain ideas about you based on your identity that you might want to challenge? Thinking about who we're writing to, who we're writing for, is a really great way to help us find the right tone and the right voice for our work. Tip number 3, learn how to ask for feedback. So a lot of the time when we're writing about things which are really close to our hearts, it can be really difficult to take feedback because we're in the work, and so it feels like when someone says the work isn't very good, they're saying something about us, and that can be pretty paralyzing. My best trick for separating ourselves out from the work, even when we're really close to it, is not to ask about whether the work is good or not. Instead, ask about whether it's clear. When you ask about clarity, when you ask whether the piece of writing is achieving what you want it to achieve, it means you get better, more useful feedback from people, and it's easier to take and implement. Tip number 4, be a little bit braver. So sometimes when I'm writing, particularly from autobiography, I come across moments where I'm not willing to admit something or where something feels really difficult to write down. And it's totally okay to back off from something if you wanted to write about it but find you're not ready. But if you do want to go for it, here's what I do. I set myself a timer for 5 minutes and I do some writing, and I give myself permission in that 5 minutes to completely avoid the subject. Sometimes I get quite creative about how I avoid the subject, but there's no pressure on that 5 minutes. Once it's over though, once the alarm goes off, I tell myself that I have to write the sentence, what I'm really trying to say is, and then I finish the sentence and I write down the thing that I just couldn't admit. And usually that's where I end my day. I'll come back to it tomorrow, it's on paper now, I've done the hard part, and it'll be a great prompt for me to start writing in my next session. And finally, tip number 5, write the fun stuff too. So I think a lot of us come to writing autobiography or writing about identity to give voice to things which are challenging or which make us angry or which come from a darker place. And that's amazing. There's some incredible writing out there that comes from that place, and it's really useful for us and for our communities. But it's also really important to pay attention to the joyful things in our lives, the things that we love, the things that bring us relief and warmth and laughter and happiness. And in terms of the writing, it makes it so much easier for readers to sit with us when we take them to darker places, if we show them that we can take them to lighter places as well. So there you go. Those are 5 tips from me, things that have really helped me in my writing, and I hope they'll be helpful for you as well. Thanks for sticking around, and happy writing.